Here we go then, round number 3 of my F1 24 My Team Career Mode is upon us, guys, and we're here for the Australian Grand Prix, going down under for round 3 in this one. If you haven't seen round 2 at Jeddah for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, then go check it out, guys, link in the top right as always. There are going to be some spoilers very shortly, so go watch it if you have missed it. So far, it's been a really good start to the season, so if you want to catch up, now's your chance before we delve into it. So let's get into today's episode, guys. Like the video, subscribe, let's try and smash over 1,000 likes, and let's talk about a few things, starting off with updates. Now, on the left, we have the floor stiffening stays on the 19th. We also have 1,700 R&D points to spend, so we're going to get into that in just a little bit. First off though, we have activities. Now, we've got a whole bunch of selections here, but we're going to try and spread these out equally without hindering certain elements too much. Now, one thing I want to do is some second driver external training to try and improve Jamie Chadwick, who so far has been a bit underwhelming. Elsewhere, just trying to improve Acclaim and get R&D points bagged up as we now jump into upgrades. Now, the best option here, weight reduction, always helps these My Team cars out very early on. Also, drag reduction helps as well. We're going to go for the floor stiffening stay position. So we're doing that on the aero, but now we're doing the positioning on the chassis. Now, we are level 10 Acclaim. In the top right, we unlocked that last race, thus giving us an additional secondary sponsor. Now, the next one is not until level 20, so that we're going to get this on the car, and this will be important. Now, we already have Opaque as a primary secondary, with our title sponsor, of course, being Xenon. So we're going to add, what I want here is a bit of a safe bet, and AI seems to be the best option because it's not super well paid or super long duration, but it's not also the worst, and it just means we don't have to DNF, so it's not really dependent on what we do in a race weekend. So that's going to improve our cash flow and give us hopefully an even bigger boost forward. So they'll be on the car and the race suits helmet from the next race onwards. But for now, we're going to jump into today's episode in Australia, a track that I really enjoy personally, old and new layout, no qualms with either one. And we're going to start out with the forecast. Now, around here we have no rain for today's episode. We now jump into the performance chart, and there's one thing you guys pointed out in the comments in the previous 2 episodes. You can't see a black line. I thought I was buried under the VCARB line. It turns out it's a bug. Your line, your team line, is not actually visible on the performance chart. So we are somewhere in between VCARB and Williams/Haas in that performance chart. I don't know how high, how low, but we're somewhere in there. Now you can see in the bottom the results, by the way. P3 Bahrain, P1 Jeddah, 100% podium rate, which means we lead the championship going into this race, and we're second in the constructors. If we can somehow keep this up, this would be incredible for a second season of My Team following on from F1 23. So yeah, a really good start, almost a dream start for Maserati with us in this partnership as we delve into practice. Now we're going to get through the programs as always. You can see we do have a bit of trouble on our 4th lap of the practice program, getting very, very loose as the rear tyres start to go. Tyre wear extremely high.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
We did go P1, but Lando stepped up and went 0.6 quicker than us, so fair play. We had above average tyre wear, which you can see on the graph actually improved on our last lap, so we were starting to kind of recover the tyres a little bit. Fuel consumption, I'd say, is about average for these cars, so a pretty straightforward session. And as for the results, to my surprise, P11, P12, Jamie Chadwick right there with us, only 0.2 behind, so clearly those activities working well, and she seems to be improving, so that's quite an encouraging step forward. So yeah, we finished, we can see there with another 600 R&D points, give or take, bringing our total up to 2,300, and as always, we do bag up a whole bunch of discounts on further upgrades down the line. So yeah, good stuff, and making good progress on the Acclaim as we're making steps forward. So yeah, practice done, updates done. Let's get to qualifying as we level up to level 11 Team Acclaim.
Hello everyone, it is time for qualifying at one of our very favourite stops on the calendar. It's Albert Park and we're about to take the cars right up to the edge.
Right then, here we go. On track, getting to work in this qualifying session. Now we're going to continue the format we've ran for the first 2 episodes. With this short qualifying, we're going to go for out lap, timed lap, cool down lap, a second push, and then an in lap. And then whatever those 2 timed laps give us, we'll then decide if we go for 1 or 2 runs in the remaining part of the session. Usually, so far, in the first 2 rounds, it's been 1 extra final run. So it means we burn 2 softs in the qualifying, saving a set for the race. And, you know, that gives us the best strategic flexibility for the weekend. Now, you currently join me midway through my first lap of, you know, that kind of predicted program. We had a little bit of traffic, which we cleared without any dramas. We now head into the 11-12 chicane. 7th gear, just about keeping it within track limits, flat out through the second apex, as we now head into the final part of the lap here in sector 3. Avoid the red sausage curb on the inside, and now picking up speed as we head into the 3rd from last corner, trying to run out of track limits there as we then get on the anchors. Left hairpin followed by a more medium speed right. Open the corner up on the exit as we use all of our battery, what's left over, to the line, and we're going to do a 1:15.5 to go P3, less than a tenth off Verstappen on our very first attempt. So that already gives us a brilliant banker. So we're going to basically again go for that cool down lap, and we're now going to go for the second push. Through turn 1, we have a bit of a snap and get a bit loose. We actually gained on entry, but we lost momentum mid-corner, so our exit isn't as good. Into turn 3, we do brake a bit late to get a better line and exit, and then through turn 4, just had to wait a little bit to get the power down on that exit curb, so we're about a half a tenth down in sector 1. 2 tenths down on Verstappen as we send it and wobble a little bit through turn 6. Again, I gained on the entry, but the car snapping mid-corner, just like turn 1. We're basically matching, identical through the middle split, as we now are going to go full send into this chicane, going purple in sector 2. We find a tenth and a half on Max, just about keeping it on the track limits, and now we're about on course for pole, 800ths up as we head into the final part of the lap. We lose a little bit through there as we now carry the speed, and then there we just run it in a bit wide, a bit deep, and then validate. So we're going to instantly box and bail out of that one, but that would have been really close in terms of potentially getting pole. You can see we're down a little bit in the first sector, but quick in sectors 2 and 3. So those definitely are strong points. To my surprise, Jamie Chadwick is last, and by quite some margin over the next car after having a very impressive practice session. Anyway, this is it. Last attempt. Could we get pole? We're about to find out. That's a real shame. Invalidation on the exit of turn 6, thus ending our session. To be fair, the Red Bulls did move the goalposts a little bit, and I don't know if I would have gone 2.5 tenths quicker, so I'm not too annoyed. Maybe I could have nicked second place, but either way, it's still absolutely incredible pace-wise what we're achieving so far. And interestingly, Jamie Chadwick did not go out for that last run. She was the only car to stay in the garage. I wonder if she had a reliability issue. Either way, she finished last, and we went 1.3 seconds quicker. So yeah, there's your qualifying rundown, but we're now going to get into the race.
Welcome to Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. For many years, it was the season opener, but in recent times, it fell victim to the pandemic reshuffling. I'm happy to say it is now back at the heart of the F1 calendar. We first raced here in Albert Park back in 1996. It's 3.2 miles, 14 turns now instead of the original 16, part of a larger redevelopment to encourage overtaking. The drivers enjoyed it in 2022. It retains the landmarks, the bumps, the challenge, but there's more opportunity to attack with those 5 corners to the left and the 9 to the right. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Martinez, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Sainz, Stroll, Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Tsunoda, Bottas, Magnussen, Sargent, Ocon, Joe, Gasly, Ricciardo, Hulkenberg, and Jamie Chadwick. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Hello everyone, I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me for this one, a real authority on all things four-wheel. Naomi Schiff is alongside me. Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
So, main event time here at Australia. P3, really good qualifying, even with the 2 foul attempts at the end. We had a really good session and our first lap was enough. To be fair, it was a pretty good lap anyway. So yeah, the car's working well. We've clearly got good pace and this track is good for us. And we have to make this count because the next 2 races, I fear, won't be as good. We go to, I think, Japan and China. Not sure in which order, but I think they're both going to be a bit more of a struggle. So I want to make this count because I think we're going to have a couple of rough few races. Then you've got Miami as well, which I absolutely despise. So there's going to be a few bad ones coming up, so we have to get this result. Strategy for this one is going to be starting on mediums and moving to hards. Our tyre wear seems to be a bit high based off the practice run, so we're going to find out if we can make a one-stop work. Fuel-wise, I'm going for 0.5. That worked pretty well at Jeddah. So yeah, let's get into it, waste no time, get into the race and hopefully get a decent result. So here we go. Line up, Red Bull 1-2. So we're going to try and break that. I think realistically, Verstappen's going to be the guy we have to try and beat. I think, you know, Perez, I think we should be quicker than him, but, you know, Max has proven to be very quick. Anyway, let's try and get a good start first and take it from there. Everybody on mediums. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Let's get to it. Lights on, like, subscribe, and away we go. It's a good start, although we are going to get boxed in here badly. Oh, we go straight through the middle. Shame I couldn't quite capitalise from that Verstappen bad start. Perez also not getting away that well, so the Red Bull's having a poor launch, but we just got completely compromised into one, having cars either side. Still, one of my better starts compared to other career mode races. Not losing any positions and giving ourselves now a chance. Now, track limit, as you saw in qualifying, is going to be a real key talking point and a real key, just, you know, part of this race. We've got to try and keep it clean. So I don't want to rush into anything. I don't want to try and drive on the limit too soon. So we'll take it easy initially, get comfortable, and see how we feel. And that's exactly why, look at that, we just hit that curb at the wrong angle and we just got sent off to track as we get an early warning. So already we're going to have to manage and be careful with this. I've done it in the past, so let's just try and do it again. Long race. Let's just try and stick with these two and manage things. Verstappen's not going anywhere. Perez has got him well under control. Because of the 4 DRS zones around here, you're not going anywhere. So again, hence why be impatient, play the long game. It's a long race, things will happen. Just got to stick with it for now. And there we go. Checo goes through as we brush the wall there on the entry. The car responds better over the curbs in 6th gear. Through that, I tried it last lap and it worked really well, so that lap just confirmed it to me. So hopefully we'll avoid having more of those issues with the curbs. Verstappen is completely out of battery here and derating. So we'll let Perez take a lead for a bit. Oh boy, this could get interesting. Hopefully not too much time loss. The Red Bulls can drag us along. You can see actually on the mini-map as these two go side by side, I believe the DRS train has broken behind Piastri, so it's a 5-car breakaway. Indeed it is. So this is already a good position for us, so we don't want too much scrapping here. Meanwhile, Jamie Chadwick has fallen off the back, so she has got no pace around here, unfortunately. Verstappen's got no battery. I'm very surprised. I mean, that was a very easy pass. I was just watching, not really commentating the Red Bull Civil War. I thought, you know, just they'd swap around, whatever, keep it clean. But that was actually surprisingly easy. And Sainz also got through as well. So Max really drained his batteries on that. And I think Perez is also a bit low as well. They've just been burning battery on each other. So maybe there is a chance to potentially break away here. Maybe. So let's put that theory to the test. If I now go into hot lap mode, take a double shift there by accident, I want to see if Perez flashes at all. That's the big telltale sign. We're going to get a lovely slipstream here as Perez does start to flash. So we go to the outside at the very last second and go right through. So now we'll get on the batteries and we'll try and drain everything. Perez had a poor chicane, so we're going straight through. Sainz gets by with DRS aid, but he's battling and we've got a break. Something I didn't think was possible has occurred. Now Perez is the one that drops as Verstappen and Sainz go through, but we've broken DRS here, which is huge. Can we stay ahead? Can we stay a second ahead? That's going to be the real key, tricky thing. We'll give it a shot though. Do we have the car for this?
Okay, we have a problem with ERS. We have a problem with the ERS. Okay, information on Verstappen. They've got some kind of mechanical problem.
Right, it's the car you can see in the bottom right. We've dropped to lean mix and I've got no battery. So there's nothing we can do here. Verstappen's got car trouble though and he's overtaken Sainz. So maybe we can go through. I'm not getting any charge on the battery, I don't think. Okay, a little bit of charge, but it just feels like, yeah, we're a bit of a sitting duck right now. Luckily, Max has got issues of his own, but oh my god, we could have really pulled away there, but we've literally both had an issue at the exact same time, and my car is still in lean revs. We had this in two-player career, if you remember, if you watched it, around Silverstone, and it completely ruined our race. I'm just a sitting duck on the straight. I don't have anything to fight with. Sainz, Verstappen go through. Now we're back at standard, so now we can get back on it, but I've got no DRS or battery to defend with, and now Perez is looking to get by. We'll just hold the inside here and hopefully we can get a charge. Max still potentially has car trouble, so we might be able to get back through. Right, let's see what happens here then. Sainz will likely go through. We're going to try and follow. Oh, that's a wrong move. Does Sainz commit? Oh, I don't really want to get involved. I don't want to go 3 wide. Big snap, but we do set up a good exit out of the chicane. Sainz goes. We're going to follow him. He opens up a nice little pocket for us. Going to give Perez or Verstappen, I don't know who that was, the pinch on the apex. Max down to 5th with that. Let's try and stick with Carlos here and get some charge. Oh, Perez having a look. We'll brake late. We're pretty good into turn 1. Just trying to decide when to pull the trigger here. I'm also wondering when Sainz will box, because he's de facto Ferrari's second driver. So Leclerc would pit on lead lap priority. So we might have a chance to undercut him. We're going to have a little look here, because Perez is pressuring.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
So we'll go through for the time being. Okay, who is that? Max is 4 seconds away now. He's really got trouble.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
No word on that DNF. Might have been a mistake.
Got some information on Alonso. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
So Alonso out of the race. No safety car, or virtual safety car though. Good timing getting into P1 in case there was one, but we didn't get it. Oh dear. Second warning. Right, we need to be on our best behaviour now. Tyre wear kicking in. That was some understeer from the front. Sainz having a look. I won't fight, we'll let him go. Try and stick with him here. This is our scheduled pit stop lap. As you know, I like to always go a bit longer, but I'm just debating.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed.
Just debating what to do here. We're on the outside of Sainz. We get ahead at the apex, so we get the corner. I feel like we've got a bunch of...
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
We've got a bunch of second string drivers who will likely stay out, so we might have a chance here to get a net undercut, and I'm exactly spot on. All of the de facto number 2s stay out, which gives primary drivers their pit choice. So we've actually got a shot here to undercut and break away from those 3 and get some clean air and drive off into the sunset. So even if we've got a penalty, we might be able to get away.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
So not ideal, we've got the time penalty, but like I said, we might have a chance to break these guys. So outlap, crucial, they're all going to box on this one. As predicted, they're in. This is it. This could be key for the race if we can break DRS. By the time they rejoin, that could make it, because then the 3 of them might battle amongst themselves and lose time. Purple sector 3, and there we go. We have clearance. What is the gap?
Okay, Jamie's in the pits. Jamie is in the pits now.
Wow, 2.8, 2.9. Huge undercut, and a lot of the hard work with the penalty done already. So it's in our hands now to manage this. Now the big question is, do we have the raw pace to get the job done with this car? But we've almost got the gap. Now my hope is that, you know, Perez, Sainz, Piastri battle amongst themselves. Purple. Possible extra point up for grabs, you never know. They're battling. I just saw a name tag shift. Look at that, gap is 4 seconds. This is perfect. We can manage this. This is our race to lose, even with the penalty. The only thing that would hurt us now would be a late safety car. Even quicker. 18-2. I mentioned before, a safety car could cost us the race. The only other thing that could cost us the race, a mechanical failure. The pace is bulletproof right now. We can now just bring the car home. We've got a huge gap over the cars behind. They've all been battling really heavily. Leclerc's got himself into the fight, but they're all going to be chopping and changing for a podium. We can just bring this home now. Okay, that was a weird one. The way the curb just did that to my car. Wasn't even pushing. Literally just coasting. Sometimes when you're coasting and you're not 100% under focus, those things happen. Anyway, we've still got a healthy margin. Let's make sure to make no more mistakes. We'll take it. No big issue. We've got plenty of warnings. Ooh, Lando Norris out of the race. He was quite far back, to be fair, but I'm not sure he was running in the points, but he's out of the race on the very last lap. Anyway, it's been a great race. We're bringing it home now. Look at the gap, 10 seconds to P2. I did start to push again after that big mistake, trying to get back on the pace and build a gap. Also, the AI really just are bleeding time, taking time off each other. The 4 DRS zones here makes it really, really tricky, you know, to race and break away. We timed it perfectly with the pit stop phase.
The track is clear, green flag.
Taking full advantage of the AI and of course their strategy. Anyway, 2 in a row, back-to-back wins. and that's huge heading to the next few races, which I think we're going to struggle quite a bit. So we need this. It's going to give us a massive boost, and I think we'll take the lead. If not both championships, we'll take it in the drivers, I'm pretty certain, as we come through for back-to-back victories and a huge one here in Australia.
Come on! Now we can fight!
Oh, superb driving! That is the race win, my friend. Well done!
We've witnessed some great battles on the streets of Melbourne today then, and they've taken a fantastic win.
Well, that's 2 wins in a row for them now. That's really going to help them gain confidence and start to build that momentum that they're really going to be looking for.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Well, there we go. Almost a perfect race. Win, fastest lap, but we do pick up a 3-second time penalty. Anyway, a really great day in the office. The car was brilliant to drive. The setup was brilliant. SRC coming through with the quick setups again. I think definitely the setups are super quick, but they make the My Team car a little bit unstable in this initial phase. Either way, the pace has been there in the first 3 races, and I'm very, very happy. You can see the final top 10 running order. Verstappen down in 8th. With those car issues, which is huge. Jamie Chadwick, the last of the runners in P20 with Alonso and Norris DNFing from the race. So let's delve into the standings. Drivers' Championship, 18-point lead after 3 rounds. Absolutely cooking, flying away. Constructors, 6 points behind Ferrari, but we're looking very, very solid. Only 3 rounds out of the 24 in. A long way to go. A lot can happen. Like I said, Japan, China, Miami, all bad tracks. So we're going to be struggling, I think, for the next few. And brought back down to reality. Anyway, a really good day in the office. You can see, crucially, Verstappen is 5th in the championship. So we'll take it from there and see how things go. In the meantime, guys, on screen now, you're going to have the post-race fallout from that one. So how it's going to affect our acclaim, R&D points. Acclaim is going to be key because we've got to try and level up and hopefully get more perks, more sponsors. Also our sponsor payouts, how we did our first time racing with AI as a sponsor, which hopefully will be on the car for the next race. But yeah, it's going to be fun, guys. Things are going to evolve and move forward. Anyway, a big shout out to the members. Like the video and subscribe. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes on this one if possible. Anyway, also on screen now you're going to have more content, the previous episode, along with more videos from my channel. And yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed them, and I'll see you next time. Cheers for watching. Ciao.